French toast. So this is gonna, it sounds like it might be complicated, but it's actually really simple. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to get everything set up. I highly recommend that you get a loaf of bread that's around 35 calories, like a whole grain that actually gives you some nutrients. So that's what I'm using. I'm using the Aunt Millie's 35 calories a piece because you're using 2 slices for each French toast. I just have the regular bread. And then what you'll need to do is get some kind of a shallow bowl because once you coat the bread, then you're going to have to dip it in an egg mixture. Now, I always use egg whites. So what you're going to do is get your bowl, get your egg whites, and it just depends on how many. I usually make these, like you make a whole loaf worth if I have the time. So that makes the difference on how much egg white you use. For just one piece, you could probably use about 1/4 of a cup. And then I'm going to put a little bit of almond milk in it. Just a pinch, maybe a couple tablespoons. Kind of gives it a creaminess. And then I'm going to use a really good vanilla extract. So you just want to use maybe, I don't know, a couple squirts, maybe half a teaspoon. Depends on how many batches you're making. You could also at this point put cinnamon in, you could put nutmeg, cardamom. Play around with this recipe and see what you like. And also, make sure that you whisk it really good because you don't want it to just have like a little bit of milk on the bread. So once that's mixed up, then what we're going to focus on. So on one slice of the bread, this is very important too, I'm using reduced fat. You could use fat-free cream cheese. Now you want to leave it out room temperature because it won't spread. Your bread will just kind of break up. So this has been room temperature, about a tablespoon. So get a tablespoon and you're going to spread that on one slice. Try to get it evenly spread out. Okay. Now on the other slice, you're going to choose jelly, and I chose sugar-free red raspberries. You could choose strawberries, grape. Again, play around with the flavors. They all taste good. So about a tablespoon of the sugar-free, and that's going to be spread on the other piece of toast. So once you've got the 2 pieces, put them together. So it looks like a sandwich at this point. And then you're going to just barely put them, flip it, put them, make sure you coat each side, and then you're going to take it over to your make sure that this is sprayed with a non-stick, and then you're just going to cook each side. Probably for about 5 to 7 minutes each side. You just want it slightly brown. Once the one side is done, then flip it over. Chicken breakfast sausage. And you can either use real maple syrup, sugar-free, or what I'm going to do is put just a little bit of powdered sugar. And I've topped it with organic blueberries and a little mint. Like a laughing cow, some kind of a little, they come in these little wedges, and they're very light. I have just discovered Wee Brie. I love Brie cheese. So maybe have a couple of them. They're only 40 calories a piece. So what you want to do, if you can see my little setup here, pair it with 1 or 2 produce. Little baby carrots, honeydew, some peppers, and then for more protein, have some reduced fat turkey pepperoni. You could also have a little bit of lean, no nitrate lunch meat. And then, kind of like French style, you could do the Wee Brie with a little bit of sugar-free jam, and then I pair it with wheat thins. Wheat thins, these are reduced fat wheat thins. So you could spread the cheese on that. And I usually put like a little bit of whatever jelly of your choice, sugar-free. And then also on the side, I usually have a little bit of nuts. So you mix and match. You want to just try to have a lean protein meat, some kind of the lean cheese, and then some produce. These are your whole grains, the crackers. And then when I go to work, I take them in this container. I try to find like a divided container. That way they don't bleed together. And you can put the nuts in little containers. Tupperware, you can find them anywhere. Or there's Glad has these little containers as well. But this is the easiest lunch you'll ever make. But it keeps you satisfied. You could even prepare little snack packs. So thank you for watching. I'll see you later for dinner. This is the dinner segment. Now I let you off a little bit easy with the lunch. You didn't have to cook anything, but I'm not gonna let you off so easy with dinner. It's still gonna be simple, but you're gonna have to turn your oven on. We are making faux fried chicken, healthy faux fried chicken. And you won't miss the grease of the fried chicken. So what you're gonna do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now try if you can to get organic chicken. Try to get the healthiest lean cuts that don't have, I trim all the fat off of mine. So a trick that I learned from Chef Jamie Oliver, and it's been tried and true, you take whatever spice you really like. Now for the faux fried chicken, I'm using rosemary. I love rosemary. And what you do is you take a sheet of parchment paper and you take the trimmed chicken. And then what you're gonna do is either use a meat tenderizer. I don't have a meat tenderizer, so I'm just using a rolling pin. And you wanna just give it some light wax to make it all even. This serves two purposes. It cooks evenly because it's all the same thickness, and it tenderizes the meat. Well, there's a third thing that it actually does. I actually put some rosemary on the chicken, and then when you pound it, it gets embedded into the chicken, and it has even more flavor. So, after you do that, I have dipping stations. Again, with those, invest in some cheap, shallow bowls because they will serve you well. This is egg whites. And then this is just your standard cornflakes. Now, the brilliant thing nowadays, they actually have ground up cornflakes that you can get for the coating. Or you can just buy the cereal. A lot of different cereals will work, but I have found that cornflakes seems to work the best. So, what you're gonna do first is take the chicken breast that you pounded out and you've got rosemary on. You're gonna dip it in egg whites. And then you're gonna kind of roll it around in the cornflakes just to coat it. And then what you're gonna do is put it on either a grease sheet pan or parchment paper. And the genius thing about pounding out the chicken, this takes at the most 10 minutes on one side, flip it, and then what I happen to do, I also added some asparagus with the last 10 minutes. So you're making your whole dinner in one. So 10 minutes on one side, flip it, 10 minutes on the other, and then that's the time you could throw in some vegetables, like asparagus. This even better is serve it with a side of your favorite light ranch or your favorite barbecue sauce. It doesn't get any easier. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe as always, and keep cooking. I'll see you later.